Hi everybody, my name's Christian and I'm with Thrash and we're here with the one and only Max Cavalera. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good. Thanks for asking. We're really stoked to have you on the phone here, and we're supporting your new album, Archangel. Is that correct?
Yeah.
The first thing that I did want to talk to you about is the album cover. I feel like, especially with metalheads and metal artwork, covers can be some of the most important things. So I wanted to ask you a little bit about how the concept of the cover came about it, along with, the designing and the end product.
Yeah, the album was called Archangel, so I thought it would be kind of cool to have a classic painting of an archangel, and it could be any, it could be Gabriel or Michael, and I talked to the artist, Nuclear Blast actually found this artist for me, and his name is Eliran Kantor. He's from Israel, and I talked to him on the phone, and he was really into the whole idea. He loved it, the archangel idea, and he told me he could make it really cool, look really classic, like a museum piece, but adding the Soulfly word in it, which he did with the wings of the angel and the weapon of the archangel looks like the Soulfly symbol, and but I'm stoked, man. When I saw the cover, I was really so happy because I think it's really powerful, really beautiful colors, and really strong, and it goes so great with the music. When you listen to Archangel and you're looking at the cover, it's just perfect. They connect, perfectly, and I was very, very happy with his artwork, and so I think, it's one of those things, like say, artwork can be very important on the album, so if you have the right artwork on the record, it makes the whole thing cooler, more exciting for you to listen to it.
Absolutely, and I feel like, if anything, the artwork just sets a preview of what the album's, what fans can expect to hear in the album. And I feel like it's a really cliche question to ask musicians, what can fans expect to hear in the new album? But I feel like it's appropriate to ask that with you, because with Soulfly, there's not really any rules, there's not really any conventions, there's nothing that's off limits. So I did want to go ahead and ask you what fans can expect to hear in the new album, just because I know that there's so many different things going on with it.
I went onto this album with some kind of a mission. Like, it's my 10th album, and I want to make something different from everything I've done, especially different from the last record, Savages. And so I think Archangel is very different from Savages, and is very different from everything else I've done. And I incorporated the biblical themes on it, and I did some chanting on the album. I think Matt Hyde's production is amazing, and I think we created a whole, almost like new Soulfly came out of Archangel. It's like a new blood in Soulfly, a new. We can do another album that is similar to Archangel now, and it'll be really, really sick and really awesome. Because I think Archangel opened the door for me to do all kinds of stuff. But I'm totally with you. Like, Soulfly is very free. We can do whatever we want, and I think that's what I like about metal, is to be able to create whatever you want. And I love that. I love that freedom that we have in metal. I think that's amazing. But right now, Archangel is exactly where I am. I listen to the stuff. I listen to heavier stuff. I think the album is more extreme. The album is heavier, and it's exactly where I want to be musically and lyrically. He's Archangel, he's all that, so I'm very happy with his record.
Perfect, and that's one of the things that I know a lot of people admire about you, is just being able to work with anybody and just producing all these different sounds, because I feel like, especially in extreme metal, bands feel pressured to put out certain music that sounds a certain way because that's the convention of how things are supposed to be within that certain genre, and it seems like that's never really been the case for you, since you've just been able to, like you said, have the freedom to do what you want with anything in metal.
Yeah, I have the, still you have the pressure to make something good. People always expect something good out of you, and that pressure is always there. But I work with the pressure. I work good under pressure, which is kind of like, for me, it's not really fun making those records. It's not a fun process, but when it's done, I'm really happy and really proud of what came out of it. but I love to be part of the metal scene. I love to listen to new bands. It's one of my favorite things. I'm always getting involved with new bands and listening to a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. And that's why I end up getting Todd from Nails involved on the album and Matt from King Parrot, because the new bands that I listen to that I'm a fans of them, and I want them to be on my album, so the guest thing, I think, is something that Soulfly does on every album, and I think is awesome. And I think people actually look forward to, who Mac's gonna have on the next record. It's almost like a guessing game. Sometimes they even tell me who they think I should I should use. They give me hints. You gotta use this guy. You gotta use that guy. But I think it's killer. And I'm a metalhead, man. I just love to be part of the metal scene and to be playing and enjoying and loving it. For me, that's the most important, is love what you do, and I love what I do with Soulfly. For me, it's the best feeling in the world.
Absolutely, and I think that's such a great attitude to have, because not enough people have that attitude, just, being stoked to be in the metal scene and just being able to work with anybody and at any time. And I know it's a little bit easier for you because you are so established in the network of all these different musicians and have played with all these different people and all these collaborations. So do you think you could tell me some of the most fun you've had working with people, with certain people?
They've all been kind of, real fun. There's a couple of more memorable ones, like Tom Araya was great. I've always been a big Slayer fan, so working with him on Primitive was awesome. Sean Lennon was also in the same album, and that was really weird, wild, and different. Done do a song with a son of a Beatle. It was incredible and totally almost unreal kind of feeling. And then there's always the guys I always love, like David Vincent on Blood, Fire, War, Hate. I've always been a big Morbid Angel fan. And Travis from Cattle Decapitation on Worlds Come. I love Cattle Decapitation. Yeah, man, so it's, I think all the collaborations have been great. I look forward to more. I want to do more of that. There's other people on my wish list that I want to work with, and I think we're going to make it happen in the future.
That's so awesome to hear, and the fans are always excited to hear that too. You mentioned earlier about how you're always stoked to hear new bands and how you're always listening to the younger acts. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the new bands that you've been listening to, that you've been enjoying recently?
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Zibalba and Young and In the Way. There's a record label called 8389 Records. They're out of Baltimore, and they're just awesome. Most of their bands are kick-ass. They have, like, Full of Hell, Noisem, and so I listen to a lot of that. And, of course, I'm into Nails and King Parrot, and I listen to also a lot of Behemoth, Watain, Inquisition, a lot of almost like black metal, death metal. I listen to a lot of that too. So for me, it's extreme music is where it's at. I think it's awesome, it's great, a lot of power coming out of that music, and I listen to it every day. Absolutely.
Now all we need is a Watain Inquisition tour, right?
Yeah.
That'd be badass. Yeah, I love when people are able to appreciate all kinds of metal and all kinds of extreme metal, because I feel like that there's a lot of the older musicians and the veterans that, are founders of certain genres but can't appreciate, other things because they're just so stuck in their ways. And I think that's really good that people like you and along with your music are able to appreciate so many different kinds of metal, because I feel like that ultimately creates a better and a more well-rounded and a more interesting sounding project. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I think it's also kind of like it's good to be open-minded. For me, like of course I love all the classics. I love Slayer and Megadeth and Testament, Exodus. But I also like a lot of like older death metal, Entombed and Napalm Death, Carcass, and Godflesh, and I like a lot of the new stuff too, Nails and like Noise and Full of Hell. So for me, it's it's a matter of if it's good, it's good, man. You know, that's what I'm trying to say. You know, that it doesn't matter what categories they put in. I think these categories I don't really pay attention for. You know, like people call it, you know, mathcore, deathcore, whatever. You know, it's all metal. In the end of the day, it's all metal. You know,
absolutely.
And that's all that matters. That's good and it's metal and it's got an attitude, has something to say. You know, and I feel it when I listen to a band. I can feel if they're bullshitting or if they're for real. You know, and you can tell right away what the band is about just by the sound of the attitude of the song.
Right. I do remember you wearing a badass Death shirt for the Global Metal documentary. I was wondering if you had a favorite Death album?
Well, I have to go with the first one, man. I think that's classic, most badass probably death metal record ever made. And I think it's also the first time my name was ever in an album, was on that album, because Chuck thanked me and Sepultura because we were trading letters at that time.
That's badass.
Even though I never got to meet Chuck in person, we were friends through mail. You know, we're exchanging packages and T-shirts and letters, and so like cassette trading at those times. You know, and I had a demo of the album before it came out.
Wow.
And then I got the album when it came out, and my name was on it. So I was jumping up and down in Brazil and
wow,
showing people my name is on this album, my name is on this album, you know. And it was, so that's why I had to pick Scream Bloody Gore, man. You know, classic death metal record. You know, amazing shit.
Hell yeah. That's such a great fucking answer, too, because I know there's a bunch of photos of, you know, younger Chuck wearing his Sepultura shirts all the time, and just to be able to have, you know, that kind of relationship with someone like that is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and it's all part of like I say, of being connected to the metal scene is what I love. That's what I'm here for, and that's why I wear different band shirts all the time. I get involved with the new bands. I try to get them to send me T-shirts so I can wear their shirts, support the metal, support the underground. For me, it's great. It's the best thing I can do is because I'm in a position of, you know, a lot of people, I play live, so whatever T-shirt I wear, people look at it and you know, hopefully inspire them. So I feel in a privileged position to help, you know. So I think bands should help each other. Everybody in the metal world should help each other. I think we're all in the same boat. We're all, you know, in the same war. So I think we should all help each other.
Absolutely. I totally agree, and I definitely think that wouldn't hurt anybody in the metal scene for more unity and for more support. But you're on a really tight schedule, and you've been so awesome with us, and it's been a pleasure to have you on the phone. So I just want to ask you one more question to close out. As a fan, it was really cool to see, I don't know if it was a year or two ago, how many years ago it was, but you brought Havoc on tour with you, which as a kid, as, you know, young punk-ass kid, it's cool to see you taking out bands from like our generation and stuff like that are kicking ass. But you also went on stage and played some covers with them too. Is that something that you see yourself doing more in the future with some of the younger touring bands?
Yeah, whenever I have a chance to do it, I love to do it. You know, it's all part of it, and also part of having fun on tour. You know, you gotta get together and jam with them. You know, it's fun, man. I love that. You know, and I want to do more of that. You know, so hopefully on this next tour with Decapitated, Soilwork, we find a song that maybe everybody can do a little jam together on it. You know, at least that's my idea for the end of the set, to do something like that. Would be really cool. And I love jamming. I love bands. I love Havoc. You know, I love being a metal scene. You know, it's just being part of the metal scene for me is such a cool thing, such an amazing thing to be. It's a simple thing, but it gives me a lot of joy just to be part of the metal scene, you know?
I fully agree. But thank you so much for your time, Max. You've been awesome. Thanks for hanging with us.
Nice talking to you, man. You guys take care, all right?
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.